So you might be wondering, what the fuck are you doing? And that'd be a valid question, all things considered, because normally I don't do these kind of things. But tonight we're reading something. Maybe remove music. I don't know if this is gonna have audio or not. I guess we'll figure it out. I'll play music if it doesn't have audio. But yeah, this is 3D Worker Island, and the reason I'm checking this is because it's made by the person that made Petscop. And if you know anything about Petscop, is that this is gonna be something weird and interesting. So I'm gonna be reading through it and seeing what's it about, and I'll just go to play Monster Hunter to have a chill rest of the evening. Also, yeah, you can totally tell with my uh old computer that we're on the old computer again. It's been a while since I touched this computer. Smile. What is 3DWI dot screensaver? Uh, 3D Worker Island is a freeware screensaver. The full title is 3D Worker Island, but most of us prefer to use its file name instead, pronounced 3D Whisker. Oh yeah, I guess it does sound like that. Huh, I didn't realize. In 3D Worker Island, six characters interact on a tiny island with complex and predictable results. Every session tells a different story of the island. This reminds me of another screensaver I saw, which was like an island thing with like a guy that's fishing on it. Yeah, I would have to look it up again because it's been a while. Many have found it to be compelling on level both technical and emotional. These two top software gave it a 10 out of 10 score and wrote about its characters. You will find yourself relating to them and understanding them. They may even confound you and anger you at times. Yeah, let me put some reading music once again. Uh, yeah, this should work. I'll remove it if music starts playing. The original source of the program is unknown. It was discovered at 3D Screensaver Palace, one of the many aggregates of screensaver program appropriated from sources across the internet. The owner of that site, by his own admission, sourced it from a similar screensaver aggregate and could not recall which one. It has not been found. See the history page for history of 3D WI's discovery and spread as well as the development of this website. We recommend trying 3WI yourself by downloading from the download page. The events that occur in 3WI screen are not scripted. They unfold dynamically and every session is different, which means you're guaranteed to see things that none of us have seen before. If you discover anything interesting or important that has not been recorded here or discussed on the forum, feel free to send us an email or create a thread on the forum asking about it. But please do not treat this as a place for tall tales. Check out the overview page for more detailed introduction. 3WISRC SCR discovery pages was created by me, Pat Lauer, or Plower, and the technical side is largely run by Singer. See further info on the contact page. Download. The 3WI screensaver installer can be downloaded using any of the links below. It is a 4.22 megabyte download. This is a Windows accessible file, exe file that is only kept compatible with Windows operating system. Run the installer and follow the steps of the installation wizard. I always thought that term was like really cool for no reason. Like fucking installation wizard. Afterwards, if you're running on Windows 95 or later, You can configure the screensaver by right-clicking on your desktop, choosing Properties, and choosing the Screensaver tab, selecting 3D Workers Island from the drop menu. From here, you can start the program manually by clicking Preview. You've chosen to download this file at a location. Save from disk. Downloading. Download complete. 3D Worker Island installation. This installation program will install 3D Worker Island. Thank you for installing my program. Press the next button to start the installation. You can press the cancel button now if you do not want to install 3D Worker Island this time. Oh wow, that was fast. That's a fast computer. The installation of Tree Worker has been successfully completed. If you enjoy Tree Worker, then please spread the word online. It would be much appreciated. Also, consider reading the readme.txt file because it includes a lot of interesting and useful information about the screensaver. Press the finish button to finish the installation. I guess now we're reading the readme. Tree Worker Online is an experimental 3D simulation screensaver for PC with advanced worker simulation. That all looks normal, nothing to read about. Geometry quality. Get to know the character. There are 6 characters on the island. Their names are Amber, Holland, Pat, Pat, Joe, Grace, Rebecca. You find who's who. Reference the character cards that appear on the start stop. Worker simulation. Workers are an approach to computation. 3D Worker Island takes the advantage of the resource in the world. Take advantage of the resources in the world. Welcome to the world in the computer. This technology. And 3D Worker Island. Oh yeah, the fucking Energy Star logo on the. I don't think I've seen this anymore. Like Energy Star stuff. 3D Worker Island. Pat, Rebecca, Joe, Amber, Holland, Grace. Watering. That's a bad screensaver because you don't want to still picture for too long, and that's gonna fucking destroy your screen. Or at least that's how I thought it worked. World. Oh, okay. So I guess we're checking the form now. Malgirl user. Uh, for the April 25, 1999. Hey, I just want to say that thing is so cool. My eyes are glued to it. I'm mesmerized. I just want to keep it on all day and see what the people are up to. My brother needs the computer for his work. What do you think? And what's happening on your island today? Yeah, it's a hidden gem on of the internet. It kills that Johnny Castaway thing. Yeah, that's the one I was thinking about. Johnny Castaway. Thinks it's so good. This is better because the people are like real people you're watching, and you never know what's gonna happen next. I've seen dancing and squirming, the baffling games they play with object, and the awkward intimacy that looks like hugging sometimes and other time looks pornographic. What is this screensaver? What am I getting myself into? Agreed. Holland just put her face inside a tree. Yes, my avatar is trash cans. One of it. Oh yeah, it is. Is she putting the is that a doll or a baby in the water? And now it's gone. Oh, it's not gone anymore. She still has it. We're making Borga. Hey, I think it's great. It's buggy and just weird. My roommate keep talking about how we could do it better. I'd like to see him try. He couldn't even program the turret in our dark games in our tank game last semester. What an idiot. My ma hates TV, but she tells me to put on the virtual people. I put on 3DWI on the projector and she squints quietly in a recliner for hours. Peace for me. I like to keep it running in my alcove in an alcove of my house and check it up. as I'm passing through. It's good for that. It can surprise you sometimes. The other day, I saw Joe take a controlled helicopter out of the house and fly it around. I've never seen that before. I keep hearing stories about this thing, but so far it's boring. I don't get it. I want to know what you guys are doing because I'm just starting it up the program and watching it, and nothing's happening. People are standing around, sitting around, looking around, and walking around. They have, they don't even have faces, so I don't know what they're feeling or thinking about. What's going on here, guys? This one has 2 posts. How much posts did the other have? 20. This one has 3. This one has player. That's the create. That's the forum person. Which characters are you talking about? You know, some people's have worked hard enough in their lives and deserve a rest already. No, but seriously, what do you mean? I see plenty of activity on the island. I do feel a twinge of annoyance when I see a character like Amber sitting around. I want to tell her, hey, you're young, do something. Actually, it does become entertaining over time. You just kind of have to keep watching. I think you'll be surprised by what you see, but you do have to be kind of open to it. You have to be cool. Be cool, and things will be shown to you. Personally, I love this screensaver. It's so fucked up. What do you mean by that? Winner, click here. Many different kind of colors such as cube, sphere, cylinder, cones, rings. Shape rotates and traces pattern on the screen require direct X5 or greater. Screen shapes. 3D Cave 2. This program goes above and beyond its predecessor by generating its mysterious caves on the fly. 3D Caves 2 as you exploring an infinite realistic cave world and occasionally discovering surprising secrets and treasures. Real and spooky sound effects will make you wonder what is around the next corner. Keep watching for long enough and you might discover every treasure. What will you find? What will happen in this place? Occurs graphic accelerator with OpenGL support? No way! 3D Worker Island, an island with people walking around on it. Lawn mowing. Uh, Overview. What is this strange screensaver you have stumbled upon? But the only way to really understand 3DWI is to try it. It works best without words. I'll give you my best overview. When you start 3D Worker Island, it will display 6 characters in a helpful character card which gives you a name for each one. Afterward, you will be placed in front of an island, and you can mostly remain on that island until you decide to stop the program. Why mostly? The character are powered by a kind of AI technology that the author refers to as worker simulation. It is clear from simple observation that this tech should not be taken lightly. Just how advanced this AI seems to be an ambiguous and controversial question in the community. It is very a matter of intuition at this point. At the very least, it is good enough to capture the imagination of many. Whatever is happening under the hood, it is taxing any PC. The program seems to be fluid in this way. It will use whatever resources are provided to it. It can make do with just about any system capable of displaying 3D graphics. Impressive or not, uh, as technology will find that this program is you will find that this prog is a program of broad and infinite possibilities. Since retiring last November, I've been keeping 3DWI running on the desk in my study, in my bedroom, in my living room, in my kitchen, in my basement, all running around the clock as I do household tasks and live my life. What I see on each of these PCs through the day is completely fresh and novel to me. It makes my home a very pleasant little world. You will notice that the island is quiet. 3WI does not play audio, unlike what you may find in the After Dark products and similar entertaining based program, but very much in line with the default package of screensavers and the Windows operating systems such as 3D Maze and Mystify Your Mind. The significance of this silence is considerable. It allows the island to disappear. Despite its heft, it's also light. There's a sense of ghostly transience. none of it was really happening, and it can all vanish in the flick of a mouse. This is for my son's island project in first grade, which took a second place in the contest. I'm proud of him. Okay, I will admit he mostly played Pajama Sam when Mom and I built the island, but he did the written part of the assignment himself. Anyways, here's the photos. Can we see? Can we see? Dang. Glad your son's teaching him about the island. Glad your son's school is teaching him about the island. Your living room is disgusting. Lol. Wait, did people say lol in 99? Hmm, I don't think so. You did a good job on the island. I have some advice. You should not do your son's work for him. Do not let him get used to the idea that will you do to get used to the idea that will do you will do his assignments. Take it from fellow parents. Thanks, appreciate it. But they were expecting parent to help with this one. You should see what the other kids brought in. Anyways, he did the written part, as I said. My son doesn't like 3D Worker Island one bit. It scares him, and he makes me turn it off. Kids are afraid of everything. My wife got rented a tape of the page masters to watch her with her niece, and unfortunately, we got to the moment where Macaulay Culkin in the library is in the library and gets overtaken and drowned in the rivers of paint, and suddenly the tape went nuts and became unreadable. Her niece started screaming, and now she's afraid of getting drowned in paint and turning into a cartoon. I don't blame the people who made a movie for making a terrified Macaulay Culkin character get drowned in paint, but some kids really do think it's possible to get swallowed up in cartoon prison where they can't escape. And hell, if I believed that, I'd be afraid too. What are they doing? What are they doing? This happened back in October. In detention, they had me sit at the computer lab where Osily wasn't allowed to play on a computer. Lol, my computer lab teacher was in their upgrading office and I showed him 3WI and explained it to him. I swear he was like enchanted by it. He wanted to install it on all the computers, so we installed it on all the computers together while eating donuts whole. We had some problems, and I had to call my sweet angelic mommy to tell her that I was still at school. But eventually, we got working after 7 p.m. We turned off the light and started going on every computer in the room. It was a powerful experience. There's all these different things happening on the island all around us, on glowing screens in the dark and silent computer lab at night. Way better than 3D pipes. It felt like this was the way 3DWI was meant to be experienced. I recommend putting this on as many screens as you possibly can. Forgive me, I don't know anything. I'm just a 14-year-old teenager kid, smile. Said by good kid banned user. Actually banned. What were you in detention for? Nice flair, fucking 5 elephants. Lol, dress code violation mainly. I also invented a fake skin disease called Cutilas, uh, Cutilasin kunai and started incorporating into some kind of written assignment in English and history. And when it had nothing to do with anything. Okay, I'll buy it. Tell me about Cutilasin. I'm glad you asked. Skin disease with 4 stages. Stage 0, redness and sensitivity. Stage 1, skin gaps, holes or gaps of various sizes, exposing dermis. Skin island. Widespread loss of epidermis, leaving only a number of skin island of various sizes. Stage 3, recession of the islands, leading to complete loss of epidermis. Early stage can be treated and reversed, but stage 3 is irreversible. Stage 1, 2, and 3 are considered rated 10 on a 1 to 10 pain scale, screaming and hair pulling in despair. Kid moment. Who's your favorite character? Amber. No question, Amber. Amber's the answer. If I had to choose a favorite, tough one. GK, it's Amber. Fuck everyone else. I'm offended the question is even being posed, but I understand. You don't know any better. You're better off this way. What did he mean by that? I know we're not supposed to talk about those topics here, but we can at least be honest when it comes to questions like this. I'm not going to pretend my favorite character is Holland or Grace or somebody else just so things can stay clean on this forum. And somebody fill me in on the joke here? What's wrong with the other characters? Amber would be a good choice and may have been mine, but I am sometimes put off by her lazy tendencies. Naturally, I would choose Pat since by coincidence we share a name and I believe two children's are hers. Another coincidence as I also have two daughters. However, I cannot help but feel attracted to Rebecca with her eye-catching red hair and shoes. It's a difficult question. Amber, motherfucker. Computer Philosophy 1. Windows. GeoCities, Computer Philosophy. What is this about? There are, there are windows everywhere we see them, and anyone could be looking in at you. That's part of what makes them scary. But windows are even scarier when you're the one looking in, because you will never know what you'll see in them. Remember the enthusiast in market for Windows into reality in 1996 as the Nintendo 64 broke once lower, lower once lower project reality. Of course, a TV screen is really a windows into fictions and not reality. The only real windows of reality is the one looked into as a baby, and I still cannot turn from what call the common story theme of falling into asphalt imagery. We bring the inside into the outside, and the outside is the place we're stuck looking. This is the only meaning of I'm trapped in the TV. When we find out that reality is the thing we look into, but what does that mean? What does that mean where we are? What happens when when something bad you find responsible for is there and you do nothing to stop it because it looks through a window and is not real? I'm trapped in here and may never return home. What do we mean? Island. Mr. Toothpaste instant messages. Warning level 0%. Wow, tell me more about that. So I was with my cousin last week for Thanksgiving. Since last year, they live in 3 hours drive away. It got late, and he took me down the dark trails and scared the piss out of me, talking about ghosts and murderers. In a quiet moment, I thought I might change the subject, so I started talking about 3WI, but with nothing. Turns out he knew about it, which caught me off guard. And 2 points O face. And he carried on with the exact same tone as when he was talking about torture killers a moment earlier, but now talking about 3WI. As if telling me about the conspiracy or something, he went on about the girl in the pink shirt and gave me a long list of ominous things to pay attention to in the screensaver. Oh, he's one of the Amber shitheads. Those people basically took down that old Discovery Page website a couple of years ago. Ruined the good thing. Yeah? Anyways, we got back to watch 3DWI together until 2 a.m., the slowest, crappiest computer in the world. We watched until suddenly the computer froze completely. But he told me it wasn't really frozen. That actually was 3WI does that on purpose in order to hide things that are happening. Question mark? I don't know. He's making things up on the spot, but think they still meant something to him. Okay, so I almost don't want to ask about this, but I keep hearing certain implications about the screensaver that I don't want to repeat here. You probably know what I'm talking about. I think maybe it's supposed to be a joke, but if so, I don't find it funny at all. Can somebody give me more info about this? Turn back now. Don't go any further. Exclamation! Exclamation! Stop, Octagon. For your own peace of mind, stop this line of inquiry now and do something else. Don't become another one of us freaks. Seriously, I wish I could go back to enjoying this screensaver normally. I want to be a normal person again. Please, God, let me forget. There are links that can be provided if you really want them. I can send them to your email, just let me know. I'm no coward. Yeah, that's not gonna last very long. Oh, hey, chair on the water. Lamp. Inside 3WI, the URL is gone. The windows of my living room, covering the walls with wide views of my front backyard, fills the room with light during the day, an air of vulnerability during the night. My brother crashes here. He sleeps on the couch against the back windows. Sometimes we sit together, looking out those windows, and tell story about the house beyond my backyard. A man lives in that house with his two sons. The curtains are closed, and we imagine our own childhood playing itself behind them. It's just a stupid game, really, making up stories about the neighbor. Think, I think of it as a way to bond over past experiences. Somehow we get emotional about it anyway, but not emotional enough to do anything because, of course, it's a stupid game. There's no point in worrying about those children based on feeling and intuition alone. Still, we both find our dream become more vivid with time. Lately, we've grown exhausted of that game, but I recently downloaded 3D World Island. It plays on a PC in the corner of my living room. You should check out this program. It's a screensaver, which means it's only start when you aren't using a computer. When it starts, you're on an island, and there are people around. They don't do much. Not when they're outside, anyways. Naturally, you wonder what they may be doing inside the windowless red house in the background. That's when things start to go wrong. When you start wondering that. And now we begin another game. As in life, concern begets more concern. Reality is always worse than you think it is. No matter how much you learn, it's always worse. And the only escape is to stop asking, to stop digging, to stop learning. This is your chance to stop. Preferred resource for all things 3D Worker Island is called 3WI Screensaver Discovery Page. Page is created and maintained by Pat Lawyer, covers everything a reasonable person would want to know. You should browse her website first if you haven't already, because it's quite good. But Lawler doesn't see what we do, or chooses not to. I've created a different kind of resource. Here I take your sighting and display them for the benefit of others. Together we play this game the way it's meant to be played. Welcome to my website. Inside 3WI, that's Screensaver. Beyond here are themes of violent abuse and torture. Continue if you can handle that. I'm no coward. Here's the link. Link remove. Go ahead, enjoy. I remove your links because it breaks the following rule. Rule 5. Do not post links to the website. You know the one. It is nothing more than a collection of perverted creative writing prompts. I would not usually be so strict about something like this, but clearly, there are too many here who cannot stay reasonable and sane while discussing the content of this particular website. So I must make the hard decision of banning it. You can guess what I think of this about this topic, but let me try to explain the phenomenon occurring here. The fact is, many internet users are children and young adults, and children like to play games. What this means is you will occasionally find yourself unknowingly pulled into games played by children. On the website, you'll primarily find stories told by kids to scare other kids. You'll also find so-called analysis of these stories that treat them as true facts, so give them legitimate legitimacy. But there is no evidence to be found there. I hope you have I've cleared things up for you, buddy. Shut up, Pat. Anyways, more links. Good info about John Sorroway. Story of reality. Geocity, welcome to my. Is that the thing from the window thing? Thank you, PLR. Well said. Those Vine stories are cheesy and over the top. Blood and guts. Believe me, I've been watching this program for long. I would have seen such things by now. The screensaver won't open up to you. Maybe you need to look within yourself to find the problem. You'd love to think it's all bloody, screaming children long before I began seeing violent shit. I saw the way Amber was treated by the other islander. I saw her tiredness. I saw her subtle messages. But you just point at the bleeding children and laugh. All right then. Why is it always Amber who get abused and killed in these made-up scenarios? Don't get why this community has an obsession with torturing her specifically. You're all freak and sociopath is my best get. HTML maniac. Maybe I should create my own section for dealing with 3WI screenshot hoaxes. Snopes is a good system I use for these. Rating key, true, false, multiple truth values, undetermined, unclassified veracity. I would give every one of his stories the red sphere of falseness. False, false, false. Why is it always Amber get abused? Good question. People have a strange amount of concern for Amber. It's a mystery to me. Jesus fucking Christ, that website. The screenshot and picture on there are insane. Some of them are obviously straight up out of Photoshop. Other I don't know, they're all low quality JPEG for what it's worth. Makes it easy to hide flaws. Walking in the wall. Sorry, I choked on water. Welcome to Inside 3WI Screensaver. Here you'll find content missing from P Lawyer's 3D Discovery pages. Her website should be your sources for general information about the screensaver. Come back here when you're done. Pick a category on the left and browse their collection of user submitted sightings. Download 3WI Screensaver and let us know what you find by submitting a sighting. Thank you for visiting and telling us your stories. 425.99. I'm receiving so many emails about this Sam Ferrero business, though there's not much contention in whether the screenshot of Amber's rare black shirt is real. There's a lot of disagreement about whether the picture on her shirt is really Sam Ferrero, since it doesn't exactly match any of the known publicly released photo of him. I expanded the section to include some of your comments. On the subject of photos, I've removed a user submitted photo from the PGR pin at the request of its original owner. I'm planning on overhauling the category soon. More details to come. Added a link to Grace's guilt. Great quote. Lucky for that girl, our story became an urban legend. Most people don't believe it really happened, even if they are fascinated anyways. Perfect disappearing act. The real transformation to fiction. Now she lives her disgraceful retirement in a remote world of cartoon, but reality will haunt her conscience forever. Added more submission to worker degeneration. add an avalanche of screenshots to strange faces. I can't believe people are walking to the bathroom at night and seeing these things. Taking this website have convinced me to never run 3WI after bedtime. Thank you, PLR. No sounds, no faces. Wrong on both counts. What have they seen? Falling behind on emails. Sorry, everybody, but I pray for my brother because he's been having a hard time lately. He's in the hospital now. Sometimes you've been, sometimes you've been broken in ways that don't hit you until decades later. I expect my turn to come soon. That's when day comes, my brother. Well, my brother will be alive to support me, but for now, let's go. Okay. Oh, oh. PGR pin. The PGR pin is one of 3DI popular citing. The letter PGR stands for Pat, Joe, and Rebecca, three characters on the island. When these three adults approach Ambers in the following formation facing her, it's called a PGR pin. Credit to PLR for the icon. Amber is in the center of the formation. The PGR pin isn't complete unless all three adults are very close enough to prevent Amber from moving. In other words, pin her in place. This is a very strict and specific requirement that is not often met. Formation in this particular shapes are uncommon between any four characters. When they do form, they're spontaneously and brief. They usually reorganize themselves into more stable circles or rather diamonds like this. Why is the PGR pin significant? According to the stories, it triggers in the following sequence of events. All four characters disappear instantaneously. The world is replaced with darkness. In the darkness appears a photograph of a child in clothes that resembles Ember's pink stripes. She is sometimes injured, sometimes not. An audio clip of a young woman's scream or multiple screams placed from the speaker is usually interpreted as Ember's voice, but sometimes as the voice of an off camera witness. The world reappears. Paggio, Rebecca, and Ember reappear in the front door of her house one by one, and Ember is the last to appear. No evidence of the event remains. Most accounts miss the first three steps in the sequence. It's only when they hear the screams that they start paying attention to what's happening on the screen. 3WI doesn't officially play audio, but many story report sounds. They usually describe very loud or very quiet sounds like screams or whispers, with little in between. We have a page for whisper related sightings, most involving Amber's pleas for help. Much pride is taken in the skill of recognizing these whispers as quickly as possible since they often precede other events for which screenshots are desirable. No whisper precedes the PGR pin, unfortunately. Photograph are also common themes in the sightings. 3WIs appear to have heavy preoccupation with the real world, and in particular with real human bodies, from living and healthy to mangled or emaciated or dead. In this case, even when Amber doesn't display any physical injuries, her transformation into a human body is often interpreted as an act of violence itself. In general, any movement between fiction and reality is either in direction is treated with an undertone of horror of terror. Description of the photo vary. It may be that people are seeing the same photo and remembering differently. It's not hard to believe that a disturbing and sudden scream is shocking people into seeing or remembering injuries that aren't there. It is also possible that 3WI is displaying at different photos of the same girl at varying level of injury, perhaps depending on the context of the simulation, as Amber's plight has been shown to progress in severity over time. Who is the girl in that picture? Until we have a complete screenshot, we have little to go on, and this one has proven challenging to complete. What is this fucking screensaver? Jake the Mad Cow had quite a fright. He writes, I'm never running it overnight ever again. Holy shit. It woke me the fuck up. I've never been scared in my entire life. I was asleep and an air splitting scream. What the fuck? PLR lied to me. Our website says there's no sound in the screensaver. Well, guess what? There's a sound, motherfucker. Ashley B heard it too and caught something at something. Got to look at something interesting. Ashley writes, because it was the last thing I have ever expected to happen in 3WI, I have to admit I was jolted and shaking from a good hour afterwards. On your discovery page were wrong about other things, but somehow this one thing I trusted, and well, my volume was turned quite high. It was really something else. I only got the shortest glimpse of that screen before it reverted back to the status quo. It was dark, but when I saw a dim shape of a human, drastically proportioned, dressed in pink and white like amber, a photograph, I think it wasn't moving. Harold is an uglier description. Ah, it was bad. Oh my god, lol. I can only laugh now, but I'm done with this screensaver now for real this time. I think I think it one screamed repeated 3 or 4 times. Or maybe it was more than one scream, and the image was a tasteless display of. I think that's the formation that they're talking about. Oh, no, just dead or spinning. It's getting worse and worse. The more I watch, the more I notice, the more I understand, the more bold it becomes with the things it shows me. Every time I come to some new revelation, the screensaver shows me more. But most often, people don't see these things. And if I have someone in the room with me, they don't happen. Are you telling me Pilar, with the 10 billion hours she's been watching 3WI, hasn't seen any of these things? Getting dangerous here, lol. That lawyer is a criminal. I have family who used to live down the street from her. Nobody in their right mind would trust Pat Lawler. Pat Lawler shouldn't be allowed to run a 3D Worker Island fan website. She should be in prison. Anyone who wants details is free to message me. I am good kid 85 on AIM. Damn it, good kid, haha, and he's banned. That was fast. Taylor is always online. She reads every post the second you submit it. You cannot evade her. Inside 3WI, Worker Generation, update 424.99. I've decided to stop posting new submission to this page. This one is the most well documented sightings, and at this point, I'm receiving mostly redundant info. Thanks for everything you've sent in. Worker degeneration is something akin to injury or damage. This damage is associated with an active entity which 3WI calls a worker, hence the name of this page. It's not clear to me how this term came about. It wasn't invited by 3WI's authors, yet it implies a bit of knowledge about the screensaver's internals, that the injury is associated with some fundamental way with the underlying worker concept. This is especially strange since the only documented case of worker generations are tied to one character, and that being Amber. Therefore, it seems premature to generalize this term to such an extent, but we'll use the established name. If you ever seen a red amber, you've seen a worker degeneration. This is an early stage. After this comes compression, and the result looks like this. This red ball is seemingly inert. It doesn't move or interact with anything. But yes, the red ball is amber. This state has been interpreted as representing dehydration, malnutrition, and or mutilation, and the many photographic sightings seems to confirm all of these interpretations equally, but most of all it becomes associated with the small muffled screaming, and therefore with pain. It doesn't take long for this red ball to start shrieking and quieting down until sooner or later it can't be seen or heard anymore. Amber will usually respawn from the house at some time after compression, even while the red ball is still visible. The program will eventually continue as normal. Falling to Asphalt tells a story. Letting the screensaver go longer periods has unlocked something, and now I'm seeing it all sort of funny shit like Red Amber. She goes in the house, comes out redder, goes behind the house, comes back redder again. comes back weird and slow and crawls around until pop, she's just a ball on the ground that everyone ignores, and that's that. Nathan Manfield keeps the screensaver running all day and writes, I went away for 8 hours, and when I got back, there's a bunch of red spheres scattered around and making noises. Altogether, it just sounds like a chorus of dissonant humming. Now I'm just wondering just how long my dog had listened to that shit. This one is from Thomas. How many of them are sitting at the bottom of the ocean? I just can't help but feel hopeless about everything. Nobody will ever help me, and I'll never help myself. I'm too afraid to even reach out. I'm not even writing this right now. This message exists only in my head. This whole website only exists only in my head. Free Worker Island, what is this? I would simply put this online. Would I really put this online? Would I really give anyone the slightest glimpse into my world? This is fake. This is all fake, and nobody will ever see it. You, Thomas, I hear you, and I understand. Suffering in silence is such a hard work. I am so confused. Session of the Islands. Okay, but like, now that I'm, once again, let me just skip through a couple of things, because we've seen the fucking red balls earlier. I'm just gonna skip through a lot of things. Because it's possible there was some things we just completely missed that were there the whole time. Yeah, there's like the red balls here. Also, the ban icon is also red, which maybe might be related. Yeah, a lot of red. Free Worker Islands, a thing by Tony Domin. Oh, are we already done? Huh, interesting. There's 6 balls here. Just gonna check quickly if there's more I missed. I'm not too sure what to make of this. I'll have to. This is another thing with red balls too. And also, it is interesting that one of the characters is also called Pat. Anyways, that was an interesting read. I'll definitely check more about that later. Let's play some Monster Hunter.